today I'm going to be joined by a very special fan. I didn't want to show you feet pictures since that's only for Patreon. It's currently this time. I'm filming on a potato because I just had this overwhelming urge to just rant about this topic. And I am going to be ranting about why people should learn how to write with short stories before they write a novel. This is going to be mainly for other newbie writers. First things first, I know that all of my friends are going to think that I'm talking about them specifically. I'm not. I don't know how else to prove it except to say that you're not that special. Not everything is about you, and I would never spend hours of my time making a video about someone. Here's the thing. It's not about you. Don't take offense to it. Anyway, let's get started. For me, talking about why people should learn how to write with short stories before they write a novel. I understand why people want to start out with short stories because people don't really read short stories. People read novels for fun. And personally, I always thought of short stories. I associated them with stuffy English classrooms with teachers who didn't know what they were talking about. Once had an English teacher tried to convince me that Edgar Allan Poe wrote The Yellow Wallpaper. She was a gem. That put me off of short stories for a while. But here's the thing. I wrote short stories when I was in middle school for a grade. And then right after that, I decided to write a 5-book epic without even realizing it. I pantsed myself through a 5-book epic in about 5th grade to 9th grade. I don't know what the heck happened. So as someone who has written short stories and novels, I can say that I learned so much more from writing short stories than I ever did from those years writing fucking novels. The most important thing I learned from writing a novel is time management. And guess what? I could have been doing that with short stories. A novel just includes so much shit. Like, place of setting, dialogue is a thing, plot, story structure, characterization. And by that point, if you're a newbie writer, you don't even know how to master basic things like how to describe a character and freaking grammar. I'll wait for you to tell me that writing short stories and novels are different. Go ahead and assume I'm that much of a dumbass. Did you know to write a good novel, you have to be good at writing? You know what's the more practical way to learn how to write? Short stories and short fiction. Wow, who freaking knew? Everyone in the literary world. Oh my goodness gracious. In my lifelong experience of 17 whole years, I have learned there are pretty much 5 ways to get better at writing. Reading a lot, writing a lot, critiquing other people's work, getting critique on your work, and studying writing, learning about writing in a more academic sense. When I was writing my novel, I was only doing one thing. I was writing a lot. Every day before school, I sat in the same freaking chair before school at Starbucks and wrote. That time management, it taught me a lot. That the only way to finish a book is to just get it done. But you know what else I could have been learning in that time? How to write short stories. And my writing would have been vastly better. When I was having people critique my goldfish story, I got so many comments of people telling me that I added too many unnecessary details. And you know what happened when I looked at my novel, the one I wrote before the short story? I wrote a ton of unnecessary details. Now that's not something I can just fix like that, but it is something I should have been aware of when I went into my novel. And if I had my short story first, I could have went into my novel knowing not. Gosh, why did I do that? This just emphasizes how important getting critique on your writing is. And if you're writing a novel, you're not gonna do that for a long time. That is why I think that it is so ridiculous that people start writing novels, because when are you ever going to finish a novel? I wrote mine in 4 months, but I write at the speed like a freaking demon. Most people don't write that fast. I mean, what is the likelihood that a newbie writer is going to finish their novel? And you know what? It's just practical in a career sense. People who say short stories never do anything for your career. You know when you're writing that author bio at the back of the book and you're supposed to list out your credentials? What are you going to list in your credentials when you've never published anything? You know what you can do? Start off writing short fiction and publish it in literary magazines and awards, and then work on your novel. So that way you have a little bit of a buffer when you're writing the back of your book. Yeah, you've never written a novel before, but you're already a qualified writer, if not in novel writing, at least in short stories, and then that will push more people to buy your novel. I wrote my first short story when I was in 5th or 6th grade. And I wrote that because my teacher told me to, not because I wanted to. It was fun, but that teacher told us to write a short story because it was an easy stepping stone. If she told me to write a novel when I was 10 years old, I would have said, fuck that, because that teacher would have been setting me up for failure. So why the hell are you doing it to yourself? The only thing I can think of besides why you don't want to write a short story is because, you know, you're used to novels, or you hate short stories because you've never given them a chance, like this girl, or you're just setting yourself up for failure. Go to therapy for that. If you're new to writing, do something small. Write a freaking limerick or two to get your dip your toe in the water. If you want to be an athlete for a career, you don't go straight to the Olympics. You go to rec league, and then you go to club, and then you go to high school, and then college, and then you work your way up to the Olympic level. You don't just start off right in the Olympics. And if you're another writer, try writing fan fiction. I personally never read or written fan fiction. I could never get into it. As far as I know, a lot of people love it. Apparently, it's a lot easier to write stories in an established world that's already created for you, with established characters that's already made for you. It's like writing with training wheels on. In conclusion, write some short fiction. I can make a video on how to write short fiction. It's a lot of fun. And it's not boring, like everyone thinks it is. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Please learn to write short stories before you write a novel. This is the hill I will die on. Once again, I am not talking about you in particular. My close friends that do watch my channel. The only way I can prove it is, again, by being myself and saying, you're not that special for me to make a video about you. I'm just gonna ignore the fact that I actually did that. Thank you for watching. If you still want to watch my stuff, subscribe. All my social media links are below. Thanks for watching.